It was the summer of 2020. I had just finished the majority of my schoolwork. I was ready to complete my bachelor's degree in business. I was working as an accountant on the side, and I realized that I'm going to have to find other work because we can't be here anymore. And so I started searching online for jobs, and I found a bunch of freelance work, and I just did, kind of like odd jobs here and there online. And then I realized that I was actually really, really good at finding other people's potential and highlighting that for them and making that kind of like their forte in terms of what they could pursue. So I decided to actually do that. I would set up business plans for people and for different businesses and companies, and I turned into a brand manager. So I did this for a very long time until I realized that it was getting kind of to a point where I wanted to realize more of my own potential as a brand myself. I was kind of done managing other people's brands and managing other people's businesses and social media accounts and stuff. And I wanted to see what I could do for myself. So I decided to explore different passions and talents and interests of mine along with pursuing a second degree. I was also kind of working on my own things in the background. I have a huge love for music and a huge love for writing. So I took both of those components and I started pursuing singing and songwriting on the side just as a passion for myself. And so I would sing different covers online, I would post them. I had a lot of fear around that because as a studious person for like a very long time, it was hard for me to transition from being what I saw as just a student to being more so a talent or someone that actually would post themselves online in a very outward type of way. So I decided to pursue it, and actually during this time, TikTok was really taking off, and I had been following creators on TikTok, such as Charlie D'Amelio, such as Olivia Ponte, like all these big influencers, so to speak, that are especially prevalent, kind of like for ages 13 to 20, 21. I had been following those types of individuals online, and I followed other creators as well, but what fascinated me about a lot of these young models and young creatives online, young dancers, is that it was so effortless for them to go ahead and gain followers. And then you had business moguls like Vanessa Lau and Sunny Lenarduzzi who were just consistently talking about gaining followers, and they made their whole business and brand framework around turning followers into paying clients. And it got me thinking about the different types of business models that are really prevalent online and how you can take any business model that you want and you can run with it as long as you know that you are playing to your own strengths, just like I had been teaching other people to do for a very long time. So I started working. I started working on my own brand. I started working on what I wanted to see for myself. I know that I knew that I had a talent and a passion for singing. I knew that I had a talent and a passion for dancing. I knew that I had a talent and a passion for writing, and for creative writing as well, and also for coaching and finding the potential within people and businesses and brands and bringing that out into the world. And I explored different avenues of, these different business frameworks. And I found at the end of the day that my biggest driving force was when my biggest motivation was when I could help other people, and I could impact other people. And for me, it didn't have to be direct because there are many different ways you can actually impact people online. You can do it through coaching, which is kind of like the umbrella framework way of doing it. And then within coaching, there are various tiers of coaching. So you can do coaching via streaming online, creating content. You can do coaching via one-on-one sessions or even group sessions. You can do coaching through course creation and so on and so forth. So I started thinking about lower ticket ways of going about this because I was new to this entire framework and I didn't really know what I was doing. So I did one-on-one coaching for a very long time. I did low ticket coaching for a very long time. And I realized quickly that, again, it doesn't matter how you, it doesn't matter how you go about impacting people as long as it's sustainable for you, number one. And number two, as long as you're, reaching X amount of people, whether it just be 1 or 100, find what works for you and then go for that, And so for a while I was really stuck, you know what I mean? I was like doing one-on-one sessions all the time. I was getting so drained. I was putting my life on the back burner and my personal issues and problems and wants and desires and dreams and goals for myself on the back burner. And I was coaching other people through problems that actually I had. So at one point I felt like this just wasn't working anymore. You know what I mean? Like this was just kind of, it just wasn't working for me. I didn't feel authentic at a certain point, because it just had not been sustainable anymore. It was sustainable at one point, and that sustainability had an expiration date. And, many things actually in our lives have expiration dates. Business frameworks do, relationships do, and this is because we change as human beings. We are constantly changing and growing and evolving because we are constantly learning, right? Because we're students actually of the game of life, right? So like we should be always changing. And so because we're always changing, our relationships are going to change. The way we interact with ourselves as well and the way that we see ourselves is going to change, right? And so on and so forth. And so at a certain point in time, that framework of me coaching people one-on-one consistently all the time became tiring and exhausting, and I did not have any passion for it whatsoever. So I just stopped it. And I was like, you know what? This is just gonna have to stop. I can't do this anymore. It's taxing to me emotionally, and I'm not pursuing what I want to pursue, essentially. So I stopped doing that. I still have all my coaching materials. I still have everything. That's the thing. When you build a business, your business doesn't ever go away, So that's why I actually do really recommend coaching, especially because we have social media now in the digital age, and honestly, anything can be coaching. No matter what your interest or passion or talent is, you can coach people through that. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I still have all my coaching materials and what have you. And so I was like, let's do something else. Since I already worked very hard for like a year and a half, let's do something else. So I began exploring different business modalities. I started exploring, ways that we could make money online that I personally would resonate with and personally would be fun for me. And I realized very, very quickly that one human being should have the freedom of being able to take any single business framework that they would like to and create a system for that framework that they have kind of like on hand to follow whenever they want to. So I went ahead and created like multiple accounts online, and I created different like funnels and hubs and this and that to try to integrate one thing into another in a way that kind of worked for me. So after doing that for a while, I currently have finally come to a point where, I am satisfied and I'm like done with a lot of the work that it took to kind of build my personal business framework up until that point. So that is what I'm here to share with you in this course, and also in future videos to come. I'm here to share with you how I did that. I'm here to share with you what that means for the human being that deserves to explore their hidden, often, and untapped potential, right? And so I actually lead you through the steps of being able to do this for yourself. No matter what your passion or talent or interest or hobby is, you can monetize it and you can actually take it and use it to change your life, because you as a person are so multifaceted. So this means that it's okay to have so many interests. It's okay to have so many niches. It's okay to be so many things at once. And I personally created a space for me to write. I created a space for me to sing and to dance. I created a space for me to coach people spiritually and business-wise as well, right? I created a space for me to pursue different avenues of e-commerce. So you can do this online. There are different ways to create different spaces for yourself. So after I had come to a certain point where I realized that I was done, quote unquote, with at least laying down the foundational framework of doing this, I realized that, hey, let's actually make a course about it. You know what I mean? Let's actually put it all together and teach people how they can do this themselves so that they can make money from here and here and here and here, and they can explore themselves here and here and here and here, and they can become more confident in themselves as a fully functional, multifaceted person, right? Because at a job, you know, you can grow as a person. Your income may have a cap, but your growth as a human being doesn't ever have a cap, right? So it actually doesn't matter what job you take in your life, because you don't have a cap to your growth. And it's the same thing in the online space. It doesn't matter what niche you take on. That niche has the potential to grow and grow and grow as a business, simultaneously feeding back to you and feeding back into your growth and growth and growth as a human being and as a person, right? The two are simultaneous, and the two coincide and feed into one another. So that's what I really learned doing this. It took me many years. It's 2023 now, so I'd say it took me about 3 years to get everything together, to get everything gathered. And it was a lot of work. It took a lot of consistency and dedication and passion, but you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, because I've done something now that was so new, like I had never really seen anybody do anything like this before, right? Like I would follow different creators, like I said, and none of them did it all. None of them did it all. And you know, they say like jack of all trades, master of none, but that's only half of the whole saying, right? There's another part to this saying that I actually forgot right now, but there's another part to this saying that basically says that you know, you can do everything that you want to do in your life, and you don't have to limit yourself or restrict yourself to just 1, 2, or even 3 things. You can do 5 or 6 things. And especially in the information age, in the digital age, take your love, take your passion, take your whatever it is, and expand it, right? You can do that using the internet. And you'll notice as well that I teach about energy. I teach about using your energy, doing the energetic work first, so that the physical work isn't as hard, it's not as difficult, you know. And that's what you'll notice as I teach you about money and money frequency, that you will make the most amount of money when you are doing what you love. You will make money. Money will come to you when you have love within yourself and within your life. And so I also teach you about that in this course. We touch on everything from the basic fundamental aspects of you as a human being to how you can heal your, you know, inner wounds, maybe surrounding self-love and self-confidence and things like that, and deprogramming you from what society has taught you about yourself, all the way to what money is and how you can use money as a tool and how you can scale your own personal vibration in order to attract more money into your, let's say, arsenal. I don't really want to say life, because the way that I view money is a little bit different, I'd say, from the way society views money. You know, to me, and within my framework and within what I teach in money, is something that must be constantly circulated. So it's not ever just a thing. Money's not a thing. It's not just a tool, right? It's not just the end. It's a means to an end. It's a tool because it's a tool for, right? It's a tool to go ahead and accumulate or acquire or accrue more and more investments, right? Because investments will yield more and more money. So it's the snowball effect, right? And you may have heard this before. If you are somebody that is interested in mindset coaching, the better it gets, the better it gets. This is the same thing with money. The more money you get, the more money you get. And this starts and ends with your vibration. This starts and ends with how you feel about yourself and about your life and just overall as a person, right? Because we attract what we are. We don't attract what we quote unquote deserve, because whatever you are is what you think that you deserve to be, right? Who you deserve to be. So I teach you about all of these things in this course and just in general. And it is my hope that you find value within this course as well as anything and everything that I put out. I believe that the things that we do should be love-centered, love-focused, and love-based, because that is how they are successful. That is how they are worth anything. You know what I mean? Because when you are actually using what you have to give to the world, your life has meaning and your life has purpose, you know. And there's no better vibrational feeling than that. So thank you so much for listening and watching. If you have any questions, I am here. You can reach me by email. I will leave it in this video, around this video as well. And let me know what you think about the course if you do end up purchasing it. I love you very, very much. You can find me on Instagram at Planet Seema, which is my coaching Instagram. And I will talk to you in the next video. Peace.